Hey everyone, Sid Notter here. I talk to so many clients and other people. Most of them have at one time been able to lose a few pounds following some type of diet plan, but they just cannot keep the weight off. And that's because today's diet plans typically are just not sustainable for the long haul. Dieters typically gain all the weight right back when they go off the diet. So they go on the diet and then they go off the diet. You know what it is, the roller coaster. So that often leaves people feeling overwhelmed and discouraged. And if anyone watching this video falls into that category, please know that you are definitely not alone. Diet plans have a dismal long-term success rate. And one report I read indicates that only 3% of dieters will keep the weight off for more than a couple years. So, in spite of the billions of dollars that we spend annually on weight loss efforts, our country continues to grow heavier and sicker with each passing year. No one in the country is getting, leaner and staying that way. We continue to get heavier. So the diets are not working. And when people cannot keep the weight off, they feel, discouraged. I tell them often that it is not their fault because gaining weight and suffering with declining health is the body's normal response to eating abnormal foods, right? It is the food. And losing weight is not about eating smaller portions of the same unhealthy foods. That is simply not sustainable. We've just got to eat the right foods that we're designed to eat, and the weight loss will happen. So, let me share with you four things that are needed for successful long term weight loss. Because again, lifelong weight control, right? We don't want temporary weight control. We want lifelong weight control and good health. We want weight control and good health. Both of those require permanent lifestyle changes, not a short term restrictive diet. That is not going to work. Dropping the pounds isn't always the problem. It's keeping those pounds off that proves to be difficult. So, to lose weight and keep it off, here are four things that are needed for long term success. Number one, is it sustainable? In other words, is this something you can comfortably do for the long haul, for the months and years ahead? Or will you be destined to eat small portions and feel deprived and hungry? That's not going to work. And as mentioned earlier, when we go on a diet, that often means at some point you're going to go off the diet and return to your previous eating patterns. So ask yourself when you're considering a new diet plan, is this way of eating going to serve me well for many years? The second thing to consider is is it nutritionally sound? Will you be getting the protein, the carbs, fat, calcium, fiber, minerals, vitamins, antioxidants? Will you be getting all of those things that you need in the right amounts? And that's key in order to function well. Are you going to get those nutrients in the right amounts in order to function well? Because we can overdo it on calcium, we can overdo it on protein. So we need to consider that. Is it nutritionally sound? Does this new plan that you're considering ask you to purchase supplements or powders in order to meet your nutritional needs? And if so, is that because the nutrients are lacking in the foods? Right? We want to eat foods that are nutritious and give us just what we need to function well. Number three, is the new plan based on unbiased science? Now, this one can be tricky because there are studies out there to back up any theory or any point of view, especially in today's market. There are studies, so called studies, many of them are junk studies. And in order to know if a diet plan is credible, we always have to assure that the science being referenced meets certain criteria. Is the research independently funded, for example, or is the research being sponsored by an industry lobby, a food company, or a supplement manufacturer who's going to profit from the results? We don't want to look at research where someone's going to profit from the result. We want to look at independent research that is, unbiased and is going to report fairly. So on my website at sidnotter.com, I've created a list of 7 ways you can evaluate everything you hear or read. I'd be happy to share that link down in the notes below. I will share that link. So the fourth thing is this plan safe for my health? And this is a big one because the majority of diet books out there that are flying off the shelves are anything but good for your long-term health, even though you might lose weight short term. Your new eating plan should be able to prevent and reverse disease without contributing to more problems down the road, which many of today's diets do, especially the low carb, high protein, high fat diets, keto, paleo, carnivore. All of those diets are known contributors to serious health issues. So, again, we don't want to lose weight at the expense of our precious health. Your new way of eating should build health, not destroy it. I like how Dr. Michael Greger points out in his book, How Not to Diet. His book says that the goal of weight loss is not to lighten the load for your pallbearers. I thought that was clever. Anyway, what answers yes to all four of these things? Well, the only way of eating that can answer those four questions with a resounding yes is a whole food, plant based, no added oil diet. This way of eating improves the quality of the food rather than restricting the quantity of food. So it's not about less food, it's about healthier food. And I have got a free webinar, which I'm going to put the link down below, which will describe more in detail what that plan would look like. So go down to the show notes and click on the free webinar, Three Food Mistakes That People Are Making. It's called Three Food Mistakes That Lead to Painful Joints, Extra Weight, and Health Problems the Doctors Aren't Solving. And that will give you a much better view of the type of diet I'm suggesting that you consider. So take heart that there is an answer out there for long-term healthy weight loss. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.